Hi, I'm Alexander de Vriend. I'm from Ontroerend Goed. And together with Koper Gieterij, we do the production Once and For All. We're gonna tell you who we are, so shut up and listen. Which says what it has to say.
And
For all
We
gonna
tell you who
we
are.
so shut up
and
listen.
Verona, Coma,
Elise, Edith.
Edouard.
Okay, I think like in New York, you have a very living audience. They're very energetic, and they like the school kids. They stand up and when we're jumping, and they're like yeah. And like in North America, people are like more serious and just relaxed.
Het is just
Yeah, more
you just
quiet.
talked about,
More quiet here in North America.
you just talked about New York and
No. Well, it's more the people from the schools are a lot louder, but
Yeah.
the older audiences are more like, yeah, I
We
understand.
have a
what you
jump
mean,
scene
but they're
and
not like
the whole audience was partying. It was very nice.
yeah, it was,
but there's not really a difference between Europe and North America. It's the same actually.
No.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the guys from New York who were like partying,
Yeah.
that was really cool.
there's so many reactions I recall. I remember the first person who cried, but that was even in Belgium. I remember the first person who walked out. Really, he was really angry. I remember so many reactions. I can't even recount them or recall them all. Probably. The last one I remember was in New York. We did a school performance with lots of kids, like, well, you know, the guys we know from television shows, the hard Bronx guys. And I was sitting between them, and at a certain point, the whole audience started to move around, and I was like, wow, this is so intense. That was the heaviest one I recall. But yeah, too many to mention.
Sydney.
And New Zealand.
Yeah, New Zealand was
Christchurch.
Youth film culture.
Yeah.
There are a lot of screens and things.
Huh?
The
Yeah, a
screens
lot
and
of-
the buildings were very amazing and big.
yeah.
Check on the
Yeah, we're from a small country, so
Yeah, it was really
nice.
really outrageous.
New York City.
Yeah. I didn't
You mean
really
what
had
we expected. of it.
an expectation.
Well,
or
I
something.
certainly didn't expect that we were going to travel so much. So.
Yes, and that would have so much success
Yeah.
because I really thought it was just Belgium, and yeah, some people who liked it. But yeah, there are a lot now. So
Well, it's very simply exceeded. I didn't realize. I knew when I was making it, I had something special. I felt I was onto something which didn't happen so often. But of course, you don't realize that a teenager in Ghent can make a connection with a teenager somewhere else. Let's say in the Western world, because we mostly did Anglo-Saxon countries. But even then, I didn't realize that they could make a connection. It's always the purpose, but you don't. It exceeded completely my expectations on that front.
I was 15, I think.
I was 14.
I think 12.
Okay, 12.
I was 14, so you also.
Yeah, you were like 13 or something.
13 then.
I was 12 or 13.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
change it up because we grow up and then we have to change it to play because
Yeah.
otherwise it doesn't really match with our personalities.
Yeah.
No, it's just that it's true what you say. Like in 6 months, you have a different person, really. For instance, my little brother, he was here, Edward. He became a man all over like 3-4 months. Suddenly, somebody else was there. But the nature of the show allows me to change because the structure is pretty clear and rigid in a way. But what they do inside that structure is all up to them. You know, we decided together what they would do, and every movement they make or words they say, they came up with themselves. But that means that they also can change it themselves. And in that way, for instance, Kova, she was also here. She just has a different text, and that has a different meaning, because it's just that I believe that everything in a theater show, the only thing that you see, it's the only medium that has the power of the here and now. So if you lie about that, you can easily make a television show out of it or a movie. So I have to change it to keep it real. That's it. And that's why you can play it like 180 times already.
Right.
It becomes something different. Them, I will miss them the most. It's just like, it's 4 years of their life, but also of my life. And yeah, I won't find that again. You know, I toured a lot with other productions and with a professional crew, but it's just seeing everything through their eyes. You know, when we were in Christchurch and we were looking at the landscape there, it's already mind-blowing. But when you see it through the eyes of a 13-year-old, which you do after a while, you look through them. I mean, you look through their eyes. It becomes even more mind-blowing. And yeah, they took so much care of each other. I never, you know, for instance, this summer we did a 7-week tour, and there was no problem at all at this whole 7 weeks. And I'm gonna miss that, definitely, and so many other things. But in the beginning, there was talk about doing, because the structure allows it to bring in a different cast. In the beginning, I was thinking about it, but when you feel it, when you do the show everywhere, and everybody makes the same connection with it, you know, more or less, with tiny differences, but then the main point is the same. I didn't see the use of it. I was like, if I would make it, for instance, here, I would come to the same answers. So it wouldn't be a sort of challenge for me to remake it. The only thing I have to say is I'm curious about doing it in a non-Western culture, because it would allow me to bring in a structure that gives me sort of groundness. You know, I know what I have to do, but I think the structure allows other people to fill in their heritage or whatever. But I have to say, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I would only do that in the hope that I could come to different answers, or maybe in the hope that I would come to the same answers, but didn't expect it in that